Make sure my mic should be privacy, site settings, mic. Yes, good, 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 good. Camera. I can already see that's on, so that's good. Sweet. Shabbat down, shabbat down. All done there and there. There and there, and there and there, and there and there, and there and there. Good, good, good. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Boy, we got so much going on today, bro. Like that. Woo. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about today, man. Treat yourself. Treat yourself 2011. Uh-oh. You know what that means. Treat yourself. No way. What? What? Bro. May 14th is a big day, dude. No way. No way. No way. No way. Uh-oh. 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 Oh. Oh. Come on, man. You know what time that is. Give it to me. Come on. Reset. Hello, my beautiful business builders. How are you guys this morning? I know it's been one of those crazy days. Mucho apologies for not being on yesterday. I had to do a marathon last second emergency run to the Tulsa office on Tuesday. That actually came after we did the show. Had to sprint there, sprint back, got back late Tuesday night. It was actually really early Wednesday morning and only had a couple hours of sleep. And so I had to basically get the sleep in so that way I could function yesterday. But I apologize for not being on yesterday. And that's the reason why. Now, I also know that we're here for a little bit of a motivation. You're here, you saw purple, you know what that means. It's Treat Yourself Thursday. We know that. But man, let's get this day going, man. Welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. All right, let's jump into our morning mark, which is the most important thing that we do on the show. And it's the most important thing that you do every day. Why? Because it's the one thing. It's the City Slickers one thing, Curly's one thing, right? But we love it because there's no props required, no drinks, no gear. It's just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing, or sitting, it don't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now, mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. That's the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. All right, my beautiful peeps. You drive, I dive. Buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. Today, you are not going to believe. Now, can we just get started with the Treat Yourself Thursday? Now, after we get through a little bit of our news, we're going to delve into the best part of the week, which is for the first time, we give ourselves permission to focus on ourselves today, don't we? And I got a great little message for you guys for treat yourself. Can we just get this day, the theme started? Here we go. Here we go. 3 words for you. Treat yourself. Treat yourself 2011. Once a year, Donna and I spend a day treating ourselves. What do we treat ourselves to? Clothes. Treat yourself. Fragrances. Treat yourself. Massages. Treat yourself. Mimosas. Treat yourself. Fine leather goods. Treat yourself. It's the best day of the year. The best day of the year. The best day of the year, my beautiful peeps. Yes, you business builders. It's the best day of the week. Why? Because it's the only day that we give ourselves permission to focus on us. Us mom and pop venti shop owners are the hardest working individuals. We are the most selfless. We are the most underappreciated. We are the most taken advantage of. We are the most out of shape physically and financially. We literally woke up as basically misfits. And so the purpose of this show is to get all of us crazy misfits together and hang out. Get a little inspiration, a little encouragement. We're going to laugh a little. We're going to learn a little, but get ready for today, man. And wait until you get ready for the reframe today. Oh my gosh. It is going to be amazing. But can we delve into, before we do, a little bit of a brag on the, don't forget, the third annual Pedaling Against Ponzi's charity bike ride goes, we leave Monday, June 1st. This is last year's shirt. This year is going to be cool because I've got the colors all associated with these colors. So I'm really, really excited about it. But if you guys want to go check it out, what we do, why we do it, why Rebecca and I started this a few years ago, go to ponzirelief.org, ponzirelief.org, and you'll be able to check it out. And but thanks, guys, for jumping in, and thanks for hanging out with us. But I think you guys are going to enjoy today because, first of all, when I tell you what's going on in the news, and I tell you what's going on in this day in history, you're not going to believe it. But remember our handshake agreement. That's us shaking hands with rubber gloves. But if you laugh or learn, you have to like and or subscribe. If I do my thing, you got to do your thing. Okay. All right. Let's jump into what's going on because it's just insane today. And again, we're talking about every day we do this show. So everything we talk about today is going to be up to the minute. Thursday, May 14th. This day in history, 1796, the first smallpox vaccine. That's right. Edward Jenner. That's right. Probably, I wonder if Edward Jenner is related to Kris Jenner. Can we just go real quick and check this out? Is Edward Jenner related to Bruce Jenner? No. Okay. I was like, Jenner, Bruce? No, it's not Bruce anymore. Yeah, no, they're not related. Okay, good. But Edward Jenner performed the first vaccination for smallpox using cowpox material to create immunity in an 8-year-old boy. This was a monumental leap in biomedical engineering and public health logistics, proving that we could program the human immune system to fight disease, the technological big bang for modern immunology. This is enormous, man. Quite literally, so much of the eradication of these diseases comes from, and I know we give major props or major heat to big pharma, but let's be honest, man. Overall, they work to do good. I also understand that they also work to treat rather than cure. I think both things are true. I think that overall the theme is do good, but I also think that you have a competing overarching theme of make money. So, and I think making money always, for most of the time, trumps doing good. All right. This day in history, 1948, the invention of the velostat electroconductive film. Around this time, development in pressure sensitive conductive materials were gaining traction. This led to the creation of velostat, a material critical for static control in electronics manufacturing, the kind of high precision hardware accounting. Let's see, for servers and flight computers. Really? No way. Really? So basically, the velostat is really what allows us to minimize and negate the static electricity that's in electronics to keep them from shorting out because of the buildup of electricity. No way. This day in history, first practical modern elevator was patented. Otis, Elisha, it's probably Elijah Otis, Elijah, not Alicia, demonstrated his safety elevator at the New York World's Fair. This was a masterclass in mechanical safety engineering using a spring and ratchet system to catch the car if the cable snapped. What? What? No way. Otis Elevator is still around today. That came from the dude that created it. Wow. Which also makes it, like when you watch those movies where elevator just like falls and people go. So what we're saying here is since day one, you can't do that. Elevators just can't just fall because there's a safety catch, is what I'm reading here. Okay. Despite every single horror movie where there's an elevator that falls and snaps, unless they shoot the cable, and then I understand. 1804, Lewis and Clark expedition begins. Corps of Discovery departed from Camp Dubai, to begin their trek to the Pacific. This was a masterclass in expeditionary logistics and cartographic, I guess, accounting, requiring meticulous documentation of flora, fauna, and geography. A spirit that resonates. Oh no way with all of us today. This is really really cool. So, um, meticulous documentation of flora, fauna, and geography. And if we just want to kind of get a little reminder of what in the rizzle flora and fauna are, okay, what are flora and fauna? See, you guys out there, now, if you have a fourth grader, you know that you already know this because fourth graders actually keep us smart with relevant information. Flora and fauna is a collective term for the plant life and animal life. So, plant being flora, floral, okay, and animal life being fauna, like a deer, fawn. Shut up. No way. So the Lewis and Clark looking for plants, animals, um, and geography. Absolutely brilliant. By the way, you guys know our deal. If you learn a little bit, you got to do a little like and subscribe. It's our handshake agreement that we have. It is. 1955, the Warsaw Pact is signed. The Soviet response and seven other Eastern Bloc nations signed a mutual defense treaty in response to West Germany joining NATO. Whoa! Woo! This was a critical milestone in Cold War geopolitical mapping, creating that rigid structural divide across Europe that lasted for decades. No way. And you guys know what's going on in the news today. Mr. Orange Man is hanging out in China right now, and they are. I think this dude is quite literally creating his own super army of Avengers. I think he's basically getting away from everything. I think he's getting away from everything, kind of creating his own version of NATO. But it's going to be like Tate-O. The word Trump always has to be in everything. This day in history, 1607, founding of Jamestown. The very first permanent English settlement in the Americas was established in the comments, before I say it, in the comments, tell me what state you think Jamestown is in before you flipping Google it. I didn't know this, by the way. I'm like, Northeast, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like Boston or Pennsylvania. No, Virginia. That's right. That's right. This was huge, man. This was like the opening chapter of colonization in North America. A huge, huge thing for us. But who's got some famous birthdays today? Yes, Mr. Social Experiment himself, Mark Zuckerberg, born this day in history. So, hey, if you don't have too much beef with your boy, just send him a little happy birthday on X. George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, Indiana Jones. Yes, you have no concept of this dude's success, his career masterclass in cinematic technology and brand scaling. Nobody. And you know what? There's a fun fact. And it was George Lucas making Star Wars, and it was Steven Spielberg making something of a third kind. What the heck is that? You guys know what I'm talking about. And Steven Spielberg George Lucas basically thought, because Steven already done some big blockbusters, and so, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And so George and Steven both agreed that they would get like 5% stake in each of theirs just to see who would do better. I think we know who made out better on that deal, don't we? Mr. Spielberg, always, he's just got that freaking Midas touch, bro. He's got the Midas touch. Who else has a birthday today? Kate Blanchett, the Academy Award winning actress known for her stoic screen presence and technical precision. You talk about one of the most like prolific actresses, man, and she does a good job of not getting caught up in politics either, man. Robert Zemeckis, the director of Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, birthday today. No way. David Byrne, the lead singer of Talking Heads, not Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. They are not related, by the way, either. What else is going on? Okay, are you guys ready for this day in history? Like the fun fact for today. Okay, I'm not making this up, man. And it's going to be very difficult to gold, silver, and bronze these because a couple of these are right there. Today is National Dance Like a Chicken Day. You got to do it, bro. And by the way, what's our deal? If you laugh, and I know you are, you got to be liking and or subscribing. National Dance Like a Chicken Day. Dun 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 dun. Chicken dance, you know it. What else is it? It is also National Decency Day. It's also National Underground America Day, celebrating the engineering of subterranean architecture. Look, man, we already know what the gold is. That's Dance Like a Chicken Day. By the way, this is Treat Yourself Thursday, which means today you're allowed to look dumb. Today you're allowed to embarrass yourself. You is, okay? So that's got to be gold. You guys tell me in the comments what you think. Gold, National Decency Day, man. You just know that that's our operating system. Just be decent, man. Be useful and be decent. That's got to be silver. This is, again, these are my opinions, and National Underground America Day. Like, I love tunnels and bridges, and I love the concept of caves. I like visiting ginormous caves with huge openings. But to be honest with you, like, I never really think too much about the underground, except this morning, I was like, in my like me time and my let my mind like go roam. I see this video of like, it was like, what's underneath the city of Dallas? And it was like, you know, 50 feet under, 100 feet under, 150 feet under, 200 feet under. I'm like, huh? Like actual things down there that are a couple hundred feet under the city. And there, lots of cities are way, way deeper than that, man. If you see the like underground structure of cities like Chicago and New York and LA, OM of the G, and then go back way further, like the European cities, insane, insane. Entire cities underneath the city, right? What'd you guys think of this day in history? Pretty flippity flip amazed, right? Right. And by the way, we talk business here, man. So if you guys have questions about anything dealing with business, you want to know what it is that we do at our accounting firm, go to accountingplusaccountability.com, accountingplusaccountability.com. You want to talk to me about business consulting, accounting, taxes, strategy, payroll, whatever, man. We've been doing this for almost 60 years. And so you can hit this little gold button up there that says talk with AA Ron. Go do that, man. We'll hit that up. And then we'll talk about what anything you guys want to talk about. Scroll down a little bit, you can ask a question. It's all good. We want to know what's going on in this day in history, man. Oh man, there's some big stuff, dude. We already know that Mr. Orange Man is hanging out in China right now, nailing down a huge trade partnership, knocking this down, man. And I tell you, man, if you don't know what was going on up until this dude stepped in, you have to understand, bro. The superpowers right now, there's three big superpowers, right? We know it's China, Russia, and then US. But two of those three have basically engineered with fake elections, a dictatorship ish type of role and vibe. Uh, because the thing is these individuals, yes, my and your perspective based off of the media that you're paying attention to, we already know that we form no opinions ourselves, that everything is just assigned by what we pay attention to. So based off of what we're told, these dictators are horrible and they're bad people and all that. But in the end, if you ever want to rule like the Roman 1,000 year rule, you got to have a pretty good handle on what's going to be happening. And so for years and years and years, China's been allowed to do whatever they want, basically. Like almost like the Helen Keller of the world, where if you see those black and white movies of Helen Keller, where she would like go around the table and just like grab food out of plates, like rah, 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 and then nobody would slap her hand until you get to Anne Sullivan. And she was like, a hell to the no. And then Helen Keller was like, meh, throws a tantrum, hand back in. Hell to the no. Right? Bro, if you don't think Mr. Orange Man is slapping the hand of that Helen Keller over there, you don't even know what's going on, bro. You know that he basically took control of 80% of their oil through Venezuela and the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. You don't think that was strategic before this meeting? He has to make sure they're ready to play ball. Don't you think that after these guys get done what they need to do, that he says, okay, we'll back off. We'll open the strait back up for you guys after we nail this down, not before, after the majority of China's oil comes from that strait. Come on now. He needs them a little hungry before they go and start talking food, right? He wants them wanting to band. You know, when you go to the table, and you just feel like you've got the army behind you, and it's like just you, and you're like, you already know. You go in like, who's got the bigger stick? You know, this is a big one. President Trump backs immediate federal gas tax suspension. So yesterday, the Trump administration officially announced support for a temporary suspension of federal gas tax collections, 18.3 cents a gallon, to counteract the energy squeeze from the ongoing Iran conflict. This is huge, man, because you know most people think that I say most people, but a lot of people think that gas stations make a pile of money from gas. They make almost no money from gas. Maybe a nickel. That's it. The rest of it goes to suppliers, right? Goes to and then taxes, federal and state. So you see states that have higher gas prices because that state typically charges higher taxes, right? It's not necessarily because they can't get it or it takes maybe the state is a little too far from maybe so it's got to be shipped, and so there might be a little bit built in for transportation and logistics, but it's very minimal. Okay, it's the state, right? What else is going on in the news today? Huh? Oh, SBA citizens only lending mandate officially in effect. So remember, I told you guys, I've been talking about this for the last couple months, man, that it's going in place where no green card holder, your business, if it has a 1% ownership outside, it won't be getting financing from the SBA. It's not, man. I'm just telling you right now, it's big, dude. What else is going on? Whoa. No way. What? SBA kills automated credit scoring for small loans. What? Effective this quarter, the SBA has officially discontinued automated scoring for certain small 7A loans. Lenders are now required to conduct a manual commercial credit analysis across all three major bureaus, Dun& Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian for every application. What? No way. Why is this a big deal? We don't have to rely on the computer behind the scenes doing the automated yes or no, where the person sitting down from you is making like 35,000 a year, and they're like looking down at you like, "I'm sorry, sir. Looking at your credit score at 680," and you're like, "Right? Do you have any You're like, "Do you have any concept I have to go to?" Oh, sir, I literally have no decision on this. This is just me reading off of what the back office did." And you're like, back office meaning like you or like people? Sir, I know it's more of computers and it's AI that does it. You're like, whatever, freaking idiots. Okay. So big deal for us, man. Big deal. What else is going on in the news for us? Oh. Just hanging tough. Oh, man. James Clear, great follow on X. Fantastic, bro. People can help you in many ways throughout life, but there are two things nobody can give you: curiosity and drive. They must be self supplied. Oh, bro. The reason why all of us work for the people that took apart the lawnmower when they were kids. These are usually the same ones that were the C students because they are curious by nature. Okay. Yes, there's usually an ADD or an ADHD like trait somewhere in the individual, right? Uh, but I go back to this famous scene. If you go to YouTube and go to Ted Lasso, and it's the dart scene, and it's the Walt Whitman scene quote. And I tell you, first of all, Ted Lasso is like he's just like the eternal optimist. He's like Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, just like actually, I guarantee you that's his probably his inspiration for that show. Probably so, probably so. But, um, this is so powerful, man. Let me finish this. If you are not interested and curious, all the information in the world can be at your fingertips, but it will be relatively useless. If you're not motivated and driven, whatever connections or opportunities are available to you will be rendered inert. Now, you won't feel curious and driven about every area of life, and that's fine, but it really pays to find something that lights you up. This is one of the primary quests of life, to find the thing that ignites your curiosity and drive. There are many recipes for success. There is no single way to win, but nearly all recipes include two ingredients: curiosity and drive. Without question, without fail, having the mindset of why can't we? And then having the mindset of D or C. Yeah, we're going to do it unless I'm dead or in a coma, or the Cortez mindset. We land on the shores, we burn the ships, and we either conquer or we get conquered, but there ain't no retreat. No, there's not. James, absolutely brilliant. But it reminds me of that quote. And if you remember that scene in Ted Lasso when he's throwing darts about the guy that he was playing with didn't ask him any questions and didn't realize that Ted Lasso is a great dart player. And it reminds me, and I catch myself doing this all the time. If somebody says something to me and I feel myself immediately get upset, reactionary, I am literally experiencing in real time a judgmental attitude and spirit or spirit, um, where I'm judging before I have all the answers because I'm already walking 2 steps ahead. I think it's the way it is, and then I've already exhibited an emotion, but I literally don't even know what it is. I haven't asked any questions. If you are judgmental, right, you are somebody that does not ask questions, right? Be curious, not judgmental. Great quote by Walt Whitman, right? Be curious, not judgmental. And so, for same thing in business, you don't think something can happen? Just change up the mindset a little bit. And by the way, that's what we're going to be talking about also in the Treat Yourself Thursday. Is be kind to yourself. You're the way you the words and the attitude in which you choose to see the world frames everything around you. And so, individuals that are, you might have high educational intelligence, but you have low social emotional intelligence, is somebody who's judgmental. That's right. And those two intelligences are not the same thing. I think we know a lot of people who are educated, smart, but they have no concept of how to deal with people. And they are not the same intelligences. I think you guys get that. But James, thank you so much for putting that out, man. I really it meant a lot to me, and that's why I wanted to bookmark that sucker. You guys know I'm a massive fan of Dickie Bush. And he posts, he's like, the most underrated productivity tool, it cost $0. And it's a picture of like a guy walking. He's like, daily walks. Um, and he said, since my mid 20s, I've been a step maxer. 15 to 20,000 steps per day minimum. No freaking way, bro. No way. Oh, bro. That's a lot of walking, but it changes your life, man. Walking should become your default activity if you are not actively producing something. It's elite for your endorphins, body composition, creative thinking. He said, the second I feel stagnant or low, I instantly drop everything and start walking. No way. I could talk for hours about the positive impact taking an absurd number of daily steps has had all my life. Walk more. On a walk is when 95% of my writing happens, is what he says. Thinking, outlining, observing, brainstorming. The last five, when I actually sit down to type, comes later. Wow. Wow. Man, Dickie, this is huge. And I'll tell you though, I noticed it for me too. As I'm getting ready for the bike ride, where I go from Dallas to Washington D.C. every year, Takes me about 6 weeks to do it, but I spend most of my training for this event on a steep incline treadmill, and I just walk. That's how most bodybuilders. That's how they lose their fat is they walk on a high incline because walking does not. You don't lose muscle, you just gain conditioning endurance. And that's why I do it, for the bike ride, especially walking. Incline walking gives me constant time under tension. That's the problem with biking. You can't really bike one of these things. Yeah, you can train on a bike, but the problem with riding a bike is half the time you're coasting. And so, for me, an hour on a really, really high incline treadmill, walking at a good pace of like 2 to 2.5, 2.5 is a really good pace for me. It's like 3 hours of a good bike ride. I'm not kidding, right? And just because of the nature of time, I try to do the most efficient thing of everything. And so, man, that is so huge. And I've noticed if I've got a couple days where I don't work out, I can feel it. My whole body starts craving it. It starts getting slushy. I know it's weird, but it's slushy. It's like just a little blah, jello-y. Not that it gets flabby or anything like that. It's just slows. Like there's a little resistance around the conditioning. If as long as I don't go more than 2 days, it stays tight. And so great feedback from Dickie, man. And by the way, speaking of walking and staying in shape, if you guys have questions about your biz, man, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. You guys know for almost 60 years, we've been doing small business back office assistance for businesses, mainly with accounting. And we've been doing that for almost 60 years. So, if you need help with any of that stuff, even if you need like some coaching or consulting or payroll, bookkeeping, whatever it is, accountingplusaccountability.com. You'll read about what it is that we do and how we do it. We are very unique. We're the only accounting firm out there that will give you a 2x profit guarantee because we do. We spend so much time with you, helping you with your profit and building your custom cash flow plans and all that stuff. But that's been our secret for almost 60 years. The only way that we'll be in business 20 years from now is to make sure that you're still in business 20 years from now. You come first. And so this show is for us, Mom Pop Venti Shops. That's who we've serviced for almost 60 years, since 1968. In 2 years, it'll be 60 years. Absolutely amazing, man. And the greatest honor of my life is getting to work with such great people and getting to hang out with such great clients. Really, just a highlight. I just absolutely love what we get to do here. But let's jump back into some juicy news, shall we? Okay, okay. Oh, no way. So, de minimis gone. So, tariffs hit all imports under $800 starting August 29th. So, the story, this is per nav.com's April update. The administration eliminated the de minimis exemption for low value imports under 800. Shall we figure out what the de minimis exemption tariff is? Yes, we shall. What is it? Is the provides emission of articles free of duty and of any tax imposed on or by reason of importation. So the aggregate fair retail value in the country of shipment of articles imported by one person on one day and exempted from the payment of duty shall not exceed 800. Really? No way. Massive impact for boutique retailers, eBay, Etsy resellers, small drop shippers who had been getting small shipments duty free. So, um, wow, insano. Okay, so if it was under 800 bucks, you'd have to do it, but now we're getting rid of all of it, regardless of value. Wow. Recalculate your actual landed to business cost on every SKU imported under the diminished rule, and you have to bake the tariff into your Q4. You have to. Okay. What is, let's see, what is the tariff? The tariff on the diminished exception. I don't know if we even know what it is. Oh, it's just whatever. Yeah. Basically, what they're saying here is There's a lot of businesses that have basically been sliding and getting away from the tariff imposed because if it's under a certain amount, you don't have to declare it. And lots and lots of people are being getting around. And the new administration is like, yeah, we see the game. Yeah, we see it. And we see it and we call it and we're going to trump it. And you're like, great, great. You know, let's see. Oh, no freaking way, man. So tomorrow is bike to work day. Okay. So no way. So literally, the League of American Bicyclists projects 12% more riders tomorrow, which also means be on the lookout for these dudes. And by the way, as a cyclist, okay, somebody that spent way more time on a bike than I should, okay, yes, I don't know if you guys know this, but you guys that run us off the road and say that we need to be on a sidewalk, you understand it's illegal for us to be on a sidewalk, right? That a bicycle and your car are considered vehicles, and we're supposed to be sharing the same road. So, as a matter of fact, you idiots in big trucks that sideswipe cyclists and knock them off the road and think it's funny when they eat dirt and do some damage in the individual and oftentimes breaking bones because you're like, get off the road. But where are they supposed to go? They're not allowed on sidewalks. Huh? Right? That's what I'm saying. It's not okay, right? So you guys need a little bit of education. So stop being judgmental. Be curious. Those bikes. And by the way, on last year's bike ride, I had this lady that happened to me. First year that I did it, I rode the freeway. I rode the interstate all the way and rode the shoulder. Second year, I did it via all the back roads. Okay. And so I'm on the back road. I think it was like in the middle of Kansas or something. I'm just cruising, and literally there's no cars around. I'm in a back road. It's a two-lane back road in the middle of nowhere. Fuel is everywhere on both sides. So I'm just chugging along, blah, 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 doing my thing. And this car passes me and honks, which everybody does it because my bike's got this like fathead sticker, talks about why we do what we do, the event, check it out, blah, blah. Then goes up and comes back, which by the way happens all the time because people want to know what we're doing, blah, blah. Comes up and I'm like, and you guys know I'm in a Velomobile and it looks like a Batmobile and it's got a completely covered top. So I pop the top up and I'm like, hey, yeah. And this chick starts yelling at me, how dare you? You should be on the road, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, where am I supposed to be? Like, I literally got nowhere else I'm allowed to be. This person literally turned around, came back, and chewed me out. And literally, my spirit was like, pray for the chick. She's had a bad day. So as this chick is like chewing me out, I'm like, Lord, I know she's going through some stuff, man. Let me be the vessel that lets her get some of that stuff out, bro. And I was like, man, I just she's going through a rough time, man. She just needs a little bit of prayer. So, but man, be out for the lookout for the cyclist, man. We appreciate that. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, man. I mean, it was a good day in news, but there's not a ton of news that's going on right now. Let's see. Same stuff. Same stuff, man. All right. You know what? Let's just find out. What's okay? Let's just find out. Look, we got more business news than we need to know, but let's see what else is going on in the news today. Which we already talked about the high stakes summit in Beijing. Okay. Leaders agreed to build a constructive relationship based on strategic stability. Okay. They reached consensus on preventing Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons and keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. President Xi issued a stern warning that differences over Taiwan could lead to clashes and even conflict. Oh, bro. I know, bro. Taiwan is its own thing. We know in 100 years, Taiwan will belong to China. And we're already working on bringing chips here. It's a big thing that Elon is working on, is doing chips, and he thinks he can get it done for a tenth the cost of what NVIDIA is getting it done for. So, yeah, big deal. What else is going on? Obviously, we know about the Iran conflict. We can see at the gas tank. Oh, Kevin Warsh confirmed as Fed chair, which we know Jerome Powell, peace out, brah. The new dude comes in. What I tell you guys, within 60 days, bro, I'm feeling it, man. I am feeling it that we're going to be dealing with like rate cuts in the next 60 days, 25 to 50 basis points. And then by the end of the year, I'm feeling another one. So by the end of the year, two, but totaling 50 to 100 basis points, which is a half a point to a point. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Dude, what do you guys think about this hant of virus outbreak linked to a cruise ship? Like, it's like, I don't know. Do you feel like now every time there's like one of these weird things, it's like the blob trying to once again contain and control us, or is this like a real thing? You know, like literally, we are talking about doing a cruise, and Rebecca comes in. She's like, "Yeah, a couple people have got this thing. I don't want to do cruise." I'm like, "But we were talking about going to Alaska, and they caught that like sightseeing in a cave on one of their expeditions off like a Caribbean cruise. Like, huh? I don't see how those two like causation versus correlation. I don't think one has any cause of the other. That's just my opinion. But what else is going on, man? White House triumphal arch controversy. So reports surfaced today that the White House plans to bypass the public bidding process for construction of a triumphal arch by using an unrelated existing contract. So I guess this dude wants to make like our own version of the Arc de Triomphe, but it's gonna be like in DC, like the Arc de Triomphe. It's not gonna be Arc de Triomphe, it'll be Arc de Trump. And this dude will do that, bro. He will do that. Oh my gosh. No way, bro. 9-hour National Prayer Festival. The White House is preparing to host a 9-hour prayer festival focused on the Christian roots of the US. Wow. Bro, you know what else is going on, man? And I just read about this morning that 1.3 billion in Medicaid funding was halted to Cali. Mr. Vance is on a tirade, bro. He is really going to make it like his mission to be known as the guy that cleans it all up, like the Harvey Dent of Gotham City. Just hopefully he doesn't end up having to pick between freeing his girlfriend on tied to a chair, surrounded by barrels and barrels of gasoline, versus saving somebody else, because we would hate to see Vance turn into Two-Face. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want that. So far, he's Harvey Dent, so he's doing fantastic. He's cleaned up Gotham for us. And so, but I'm telling you, man, the amount of fraud is insane, bro. It's absolutely insane. But lots and lots going on in the news. And remember, guys, if you guys have questions about anything related to business or anything like that, come hit us up at accountingplusaccountability.com. That's how you'll get to us. You can get straight to me, schedule a time to talk with me, talk with Ron. It's right up there in the header. Scroll down a little bit, ask a question. I'll reply back or read it on air. But we've been doing business stuff for business accounting and back office services for almost 60 years. Got a pretty good handle on it. And, our heartbeat is your heartbeat. So, and that's why we do this show. It's for us, mom, pop, Venti shops. It's a safe place we can come and be encouraged, get inspired, learn a little bit. We laugh. And you guys know if I do all that stuff, which I do every day, unless I'm out of town or dealing with a 3-week COVID sickness, then you guys know we have a handshake agreement. By the way, that was us shaking hands with rubber gloves. To go ahead and like and or subscribe. Thank you. New channel, by the way. I think I hit episode 57. And you see some of the greats, and they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They're like thousands of videos in. You're like, oh my word, brah. You know, but no, it's definitely. This is a I get to. And by the way, that's a kind of a good shift into what we're talking about. How we treat yourself Thursday. Because normally, like last week, I said, "Hey, go do a quick little like forearm massage." I got my haircut done. I also was supposed to study last Thursday, and I was supposed to study and do that at the gym, but I decided to treat myself and decided to take a hot bath and study there. You guys know, I have. Well, I touch a hot shower, and period. End of story. Hot tubs and bathtubs. Okay, so the only time I touch hot water is in a bath or a hot tub. And but when it comes to treating yourself, most of the time it's about the physical stuff. But you know what? Most of the torment that we go through is between our ears. It's between the ear stuff. And I tell you what, man, that is a really difficult thing for us because it really affects us, man. Like misery only comes from comparison, right? Um, all suffering is created in the mind, right? By the way, you won't be able to go think about any time you suffered and go realize, oh, actually, no. If my thoughts were different, I would have felt different, right? All suffering's in the mind. And so this on this Treat Yourself Thursday, man, I really, for you guys, wanted to be intentional to encourage you to be kind to yourself. We don't realize the words and the thoughts that we say that frame our world. Okay. And like this morning, and most of you guys know I'm in school full time. Trying to finish up my business degree so I can be studying for my LSATs in the fall. And fingers crossed, I can be in law school next year. So, goal is to be at 3 years in law school and to be able to be a small business attorney for us, And so this afternoon, I've got actually this morning, I've got a statistics exam at like 10:30 this morning. And so I caught myself walking around saying, oh, I have to take this test at 10:30. I was like, I have to. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop it. Stop it. I get to. I get to do this. This remember Tom Cruise was famous for saying that pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. I get to take this test. It's going to unlock once I get my degree, then I can, that's basically the barrier of entry to apply for law school. So no, no, no. Yeah, it was a lot studying for this test, but I'm cool, man. I'm excited. I can't wait to do it. I get to do this. This is the power of your words. So on this Treat Yourself Thursday, the focus is you. It's the only day of the week that you take care of you, right? On this day, look, treat yourself to some kind words. You don't have to do anything. You get to, right? Everything that you've got to do, stop the negative and look for the positive. Remember, treat yourself Thursday. Every day, life is going to happen, and you get to pick. Do you look at everything through the red lens of criticalness, of the negative, the lack, the thing that went wrong? That's red lens. That's most of us. Most of us. But today, the blue lens, right? I get to gratitude, kindness, right? That's blue lens. Today, put on the blue lens, man. Do that, right? And let's finish out with a phenomenal reframe today from Scott Adams, the latest reframe from his book, How to Reframe Your Brain. I'm telling you right now, man, like this dude, and I told you guys this before, but Scott Adams passed away January 13th of this year. He wrote this book, came out last year, How to Reframe Your Brain. I always call him my pops number three. And we will look back 100 years from now and call him our modern day oracle. Absolutely brilliant. This dude has changed my life in more ways than I can even imagine. And so every day we do a reframe from his book, How to Reframe Your Brain. And so today's reframe is on passion. When you ask successful people about their secrets for success, they often say passion is the key. That's only because successful people don't want to tell you they are smarter than you, took bigger risks, got lucky, inherited money, broke the law, or had some other advantage not available to you. This is how rich people like me prevent the public from killing us to take our stuff. We create a fictional story about how you too can get everything rich people have if you just dial up your passion a bit. It's total baloney. You do not need enough energy and enthusiasm to push through the hard times to succeed. But that's obvious. Energy and enthusiasm don't have the same zing passion does, even though they're both orders of magnitude more important for making something of yourself. Personally, I've never not been aggressive. I've never not been aggressive about my career, no matter what direction it took. I wouldn't call it passion. I simply tried different things until something worked. I was lucky my big break was cartooning because that also gave me a good lifestyle without commuting. But I wouldn't have been happy working at a startup. But I would have been happy working at a startup and probably equally successful in the long run. Passion has never been part of my process. The usual frame is passion is the key to success. That is not true. Okay. All of us Gen Xers that told our kids, us moron Gen Xers, telling our kids, no, don't take over the family business. Go do what you are passionate about. What are we, idiots? How in the world do you even know if you're passionate unless you've done something and you become good at it? And then passion develops. The more you do something, the more passionate you become of that thing. That's just common sense, bro. Okay. No. But like Scott said, the new frame is passion is nice, but is not required. No. Okay. If you succeed in anything, passion is likely to find you after the fact. It feels good to succeed, especially if there are witnesses. In my experience, success is more related to your systems, your talent stack, and your ability to go where the energy already is. You also must check the obvious boxes like work hard, stay healthy, and avoid jail. I'll trust you to get the easy stuff right. Then get your systems and talent stack in order and you'll do fine. It's true, bro. For me, how do I stay in the gym? I got a freaking bike ride I have to train for. Like, I have systems that hold me accountable to stuff. My systems in the morning, how I activate my brain to be in that creative state. I have a system. Also, you hear me say it all the time. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Okay. Big, big stuff. What do you guys think of the talent stack concept of Scott Adams, man? I love what he said here, man. Success is most related to your systems, your talent stack, and your ability to go where the energy already is. Meaning you can see what's coming, the trends, and you hang out there. And then you have the mindset of DRC, dead or in a coma. Like once you commit, push all your chips in, and it's like Cortez. We conquer or we get conquered, but there's no retreat. When you put no retreat limits on yourself, you have no concept of what you'll get done. I always talk about this because one of my good friends, and he's also one of our amazing clients, is a guy named David. And this dude's already committed. He's like, no, I'm going to be like the largest employer in our county because it's a really impoverished county, and I want to be able to offer great jobs to the amazing people that live around where I live. And he's like already determined. This is going to happen unless I'm dead or in a coma. This is going to happen. And he basically undertook the biggest construction project of his entire career, thing close to this. And this dude is just walking on water, bro. But he's like, no, I've already burned my ships. This is going to happen. I'm going to beat this project, or the project's going to beat me, but I'm not retreating from this project. That is how you find your passion, right? What'd you guys think of today's show, man? Did you guys dig it? I knew you would, bro. Was this not the best Treat Yourself Thursday that probably you've ever been a part of? But at least the best one that you've seen this week. I know. But remember what we always talk about, man. Everything that we talk about, remember, be kind to yourself. You frame your world with your mouth, your words, your thoughts frame your world, right? Remember, if you think it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right, right? Don't just work in the business. Make sure you carve out time to work on your business. Make sure you mind your own business, right? All right, business builders, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now it's time to go own this a day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it, man? What time? Oh, it's time to get to work. Pow!